of the sector devolution plans in Zambia. Before we go further, it will be prudent that we know each other, and I'll ask the Council Secretary, Mr. Mpande, to introduce and also to allow your team members to equally introduce. Thank you. Able place in the middle.
Okay. Thank you very much, Chair. My full name is Hamwende Mpande. I'm Council Secretary for Ngawe Town Council. With me, 5 directors who have accompanied me, and they'll introduce themselves. Thank you.
Thank you. In whatever order, maybe starting from the left.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Chirufet Sela. I'm Director of Engineering Services for the Council. Good morning, Chair.
Mr. Tsera, just close your mic.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Muvanga Matthews, Director of Finance, Ngawe Town Council.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Namkolo Mulele, Director of Planning.
Good morning, Chair. Dr. Kelvin Vincent Mwila, District Health Director.
My name is Milambo Mlenga, Chief Human Resource Officer.
Thank you so much. And at this point, I'll ask one of the members to introduce. You start with Honorable Kapampi.
Good morning, witness. My name is Akawaso Kapampi, Member of Parliament for Masoumbo constituency in Wapra province. Thank you, Chair.
Good morning, witness. George Kasavira Kandafura, Member of Parliament, Serenje. Thank you.
Honorable Chair, fellow members of Parliament, witness, you are most welcome to the committee. Engineer Christopher Kangombe, privileged at the moment to be Member of Parliament for Kamfinsa constituency. You are most welcome once again.
I am Anthony Cassandre, Member of Parliament for Bangol constituency in Zambia. Good morning. Thank you so much. And my name is Tuambe Mutimba, Member of Parliament for Itazitezi constituency in Southern Province, and chairperson of this committee. And at this point, I'll ask the 2 colleagues from the clerk's office to equally introduce.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Timothy Lumba from the Office of the Clerk. Witness, you're welcome.
Good morning, honorables. Good morning, witness. My name is Chama from Office of the Clerk.
Well, thank you so much. Ngawe Town Council, having known each other, before you do a presentation, allow me to give you an assurance as a witness that as you appear before this committee or indeed any other committee of Parliament to assist in its deliberations, you are protected under Cap number 12 of the laws of Zambia, which grants members of Parliament immunity against prosecution for what they say while in the House. And this means that the information that you give to this committee today, it cannot be used against you outside Parliament or indeed in any other court of law, as long as it is factual. However, should you deliberately mislead or misinform this committee, the same law can be used against you in the courts of law. But we have no doubt in our minds that this won't be necessary, as you will not choose to mislead or misinform this committee. So this immunity has been granted to you. And before you proceed, Council Secretary, thank you so much. We received your document in good time. and it's quite voluminous, but we've seen that a lot of attachments have also been annexed here. And also congratulations for coming with the DHD. It's a demonstration that it's a team that is already devolving. So we'll give you about 15 minutes, Council Secretary, to take us through your presentation, maybe only up to page 8, just picking salient issues with regard to the 3 to the 4 thematic questions that we asked you, and we appreciate the other annexed documents that we had time to go through just to demonstrate evidence to most of the issues that we'll be highlighting in your presentation. So having said that, within 15 minutes, please take us through this document so that the members of parliament can also interact with you and your members of the team as they will be seeking clarification where they feel it will be necessary. Thank you so much, and kindly proceed.
Thank you, Chair. To begin with, Chair, the first item is introduction. At number 1, in here, Chair, we are explaining about the location of Ngabwe in Central Province.
Maybe just run us through, starting on bullet number 2. So that we today we have more than 4 witnesses, so we'll be, yeah.
Okay. Bullet number 2, Chair, we are talking about the extent of transfer of functions to local authorities in accordance with Circular number 2 of 2023, sorry. The devolution of 6 functions from central government to the local governments was operationalized through a cabinet circular dated 27th March 2023, which clearly outlined the steps and the mode of devolution. The circular provided for the devolution process of staff, assets, and finances, as well as the reporting process and coordination of structures at district level. 2.1 Receipt and attachment letters by Ngabwe Town Council. In line with the circular, Ngabwe Town Council has received attachment letters to most of the members of staff from the devolved departments. Chair, item 2.2, budgeting and the disbursement of funds. An orientation on the budgeting process for selected key local authority staff and heads of departments from the devolved functions was undertaken in August 2023. Arising from the orientation, the devolved functions developed budgets for input into the local authorities' output-based budget software. Funding was disbursed based on the 2024 budget as follows. 2.3 Meeting to brief staff from devolved functions. The local authority undertook a meeting in January 2024 to brief staff from devolved functions on the contents of Circular number 2 of 2023. 2.4 Reporting of devolved functions at the district level. Departments with devolved functions report to the council through the council committee, as well as to the district development coordinating committee through their respective strategic plan development areas. 2.5 Development of service delivery charter. The local authority developed a service delivery charter for Ngabwe Town Council, which includes the veterinary services function. In the charter, the services offered under veterinary services, in addition to the steps and the requirements clients need to follow. The charter was developed by local authorities with technical staff support from the Public Service Management Division of Cabinet Office and the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. The charter was customized to Ngawe Town Council and approved by the Council. There's a copy of the charter attached, Chair. Bullet number 3. The adequacy of financial and technical support to local authorities to effectively carry out the devolved functions. 3.1. Financial and technical support. The examination of the sufficiency of funds provided to local authorities by the national government to manage and run the country's devolved functions and responsibility involves serious and timely budget allocation analysis, efficiency in the disbursement of funds, and identification of any shortfalls that may negatively fall on effective service delivery in Zambia. Sufficient examination of funds provided to local authorities for the purposes of carrying out the devolved functions and the responsibilities by the central government to handle devolved functions involve good analysis, budget allocations, disbursement, efficiency, and identification of any shortfalls that may affect service delivery in the country. Chair, item 3.2, the budget allocation. At number 1, in line with the devolved functions, Government of Zambia has budgets in line with the devolution exercise, and below is a table with the budgets indicating the actual funds disbursed to date. 2.2.1 budget efficiency. That is a table, Chair. I don't know if you want me to go through item by item.
I think it's okay. We went through this. It's very clear.
Okay. Then under 3.2.2 is funds implementation efficiency. That is a table. And on page 5, Chair, there's a provision for funding schedules and dates provided. Under item 3.2.4, disbursement efficiency. Despite the anticipated benefits that the devolved functions and responsibilities is likely to bring, major impacts lie in the timely and efficient disbursement of the same funds. Local authorities may have challenges in timely implementation of set projects due to delayed disbursement of funds, as illustrated on Schedule 1 above. Most fundings are below 50% of the total anticipated funding of various line ministries. The late disbursement of funds can lead to stalled projects and inefficient use of resources, and ultimately affecting service delivery. This is, Chair, at the time of writing this report, which was around October, November last year. Chair, on page 6, item 3.2.1, sorry, 3.3, technical support. According to the Treasury and Financial Management Circular number 4 of 2024, the principal officers from local authorities dated 19th January 2024, section 4, subsection 1 to 6, on the devolved functions outlined guidelines on the following. 3.3.1 Attachment of accounting officers to local authorities. Banking arrangements where the banking record management is done by the local authority, while the devolved functions maintain ledgers, especially for their line ministries. Currently, the devolved ministries do not have accounting officers in the district, with the only exception being the district health office. 3.3.2 Budgeting arrangements. The local authority budgeted for the output-based budget, OBB, for the year 2024. The budgeting process included officers from all the devolved ministries in the district, after being trained by officers from the Ministry of Finance and National Planning, Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, and other line ministries from their respective headquarters. The budget was approved by the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development in the first quarter of the financial year. 3.3.2.3 Disbursement of funds. The local authority started receiving funding for almost all the devolved ministries in 2024 on a monthly basis or quarterly basis, with adjustments from the approved OBB budget for 2024. The council also received the funding for motor vehicle licensing, which is used for bush and tree clearing, road formation, as well as grading of the Ngawe-Mpongwe Road, using the recently procured council earth moving equipment under the Constituency Development Fund. Revenue. Currently, the local authority has received the local generated funding for devolved functions, for namely pontoon services and livestock, which has been deposited in the sector grant account, and we have been utilizing them for the pontoon services. Chair, the next item, which is on page 7, is banking arrangements. The circular stipulated the signing arrangement for the sector grant account. Upon opening the account, panel A has the accounting staff, namely Director Finance and Chief Accountant. Panel B has the District Health Director from the Ministry of Health and the District Veterinary Officer, DVO, from the Department of Livestock. Operations. All the devolved ministries have adequate staff and are functioning well in their respective individual units, with the exception of the Ministry of Youth, Sport and Arts, Community Sport, and the Ministry of Transport and Logistics. Pontoon services have inadequate staff or no representation in the district. Hence, the local authority has specifically attached officer as the sports officer, and the officers from finance and engineering department of the local authority to help with the running of the pontoon to ensure there is efficiency in the operations. There's an attachment to that effect, Chair. Bullet 4 on page 7, the effectiveness of strategies and measures put in place for the effective devolution of functions for the local authorities. The strategies put in place for the effective devolution of functions and generally effective and have allowed for smooth implementation of the devolved process. These strategies include phasing out the devolution of functions, which has been cardinal in ensuring that local authorities and the devolving departments undertake the transition process smoothly. Budgeting process. The orientation and budgeting workshop organized by local authorities and the devolved departments also allowed the local authorities to undertake activities to be undertaken under the devolved functions and how to effectively and adequately budget for them. In addition, departments with devolved functions were in turn able to understand the budgeting process of the council, as well as how to effectively and adequately budget for the devolved functions. Under their departments, a function which was previously undertaken on their behalf by central government and provincial administration. Issuing attachment letters. The process of issuing attachment letters to staff from departments with the devolved functions also allowed for procedure to be followed within the confines of the law. This also allowed for the buy-in of unions and staff, which has resulted in a relatively smooth transition. Chair, page 8, transfer of funds. The transfer of funds for devolved functions directly to the local authority has allowed for quick response in attending to needs in communities, particularly for the veterinary services and the health departments, whose response mechanism is cardinal and time sensitive in some instances. Subsequently, departments are now able to conduct activities effectively as funds are readily available at the district level. Challenges and the opportunities of the devolution process of functions to the local authority. Bullet number 1, inadequate funding in some departments. Lack of reliable motor vehicles for devolved departments, which has an impact on the ability of departments to effectively carry out their functions. Inadequate and lack of proper office space and accommodation for staff from devolved departments, particularly in new districts. Ngabwe is no exception, Chair. Opportunities. Being under the umbrella of the local authority, the departments can tap into resources of other departments and can maximize the use of resources. Devolved departments can easily tap into resources such as the Constituency Development Fund and other funding sources managed by the local authorities. Recommendations. Central government should consider the consistent and timely release of funds for devolved functions. Central government should consider providing for the procurement of assets such as motor vehicles and motorbikes. Central government to consider completion of housing and office facilities for staff from devolved functions, especially in newly created districts. I need to mention here, Chair, that in Ngabwe, the whole district, there are neither office nor residential accommodation for officers, including the council officers. Central government should consider disbursing the funds on timely to ensure there is sufficiency in the implementation of projects and programs. Chair, I submit.
Well, thank you so much, Ngawe, for your presentation. Honorable members, I will invite questions. Maybe you just allow each member one question. For now, we see how we progress. We'll start with Honorable Kangombe. Do you have anything to ask? Yes, then we'll come to Honorable Kandafula.
Thank you very much, Chair. With your indulgence, I'll just ask two quick questions. Council Secretary, you have submitted to this committee that there's progress that is being made. From what I'm getting, I will not mention any specific issue, but I've noticed from your report, you have not talked about how you would want those whose functions have been devolved to be employed. And I'm asking this because currently they are just attached, meaning they are not employees of the Local Government Service Commission. You are employed by the Commission, Director Engineering, Finance, all these are employed by the Commission. Meaning there's a culture, there's a way in which you discipline workers, there's a way in which you do things at a local level. So if you are going to have a devolved office, say Director of Health, they are under a different commission in Zambia. So what is your position as Ngabwe Town Council in as far as recruitment of members of staff that have been devolved is concerned? That is my first question, and I hope it's very clear. Secondly, has government given you the structure of those whose functions have been devolved? In local government, Director Engineering is aware he's got sections under him. It's a defined structure. The establishment under planning is also well defined. So these who are coming to you, have you been told this will be their structure? This is how they will function, director and who will be under them? Those are my two
Thank you so much.
questions.
Kandafula.
Thank you, Chair. I think it's almost related to what Honorable Kangombe has just highlighted. Just coming to page 7 on item 4.2 over the issuing of attachment letters. I just wanted to find out how far you have gone in terms of receiving these letters from the devolved ministries. Thank you.
Okay, any other question from members? Okay, so I think those are the only 2 or 3 questions we had. Maybe you might answer them, Council Secretary or any of your members.
Thank you, Chair. Let me attempt to answer them, and maybe my colleagues will come in to assist. The concerns from Honorable Kangombe, Chair, on the recruitment. What government has indicated at this stage is that in the interim arrangement, these staff are attached to the councils. What does that mean? What it means is that they are still subject to the old conditions of service they serve under central government. And even in the mode of recruitment, promotion, discipline are still under their various respective commissions. This is the interim arrangement government has provided so far. We are yet to be guided going forward on how this process will run, whether at a certain stage there will be employees of the council under the Local Government Service Commission, because I'm aware that the 2 commissions are also in talks over the same. And my assumption is that this issue is being handled at a higher level. This also addresses the issue of the structure. As a council, we have not been guided yet on how the structure, like for devolved sectors under health, what will be the structure from Director Health, who comes under him, up to the lowest man in the chain of command. This is the same as veterinary and other devolved sectors, Chair.
So in the interim, how is that affecting your operations? Just press your mic again.
Okay, thank you. This interim arrangement, Chair, is a bit problematic. This is my personal view now, in the sense that if the Director of Health now administratively reports to me, And if it is my considered view that this director needs to be promoted, there's no system, or he needs to be disciplined, there's no system. So that is a bit of a challenge, this interim arrangement. Thank you, Chair.
Right, Chair.
Thank you. Maybe quick ride as we conclude.
Yeah, so Chair, my question was, since you are under two different commissions, and you've just highlighted that there's a challenge that may arise, what is your recommendation as Ngabwe? Okay, we are preparing a report. The reason we're having this interaction is not just to know what is a short-term measure. What we want is you people who are managing decentralization, in your view, since you are the head of the municipality, the local authority, we don't want to discuss individuals. We're trying to discuss systems. What system would work better? Would you prefer everyone is under one commission, or people are all over the place? We want you to be clear, so that our report to Madam Speaker will be very clear, that witnesses said this is what would be good for decentralization.
Okay, so what do you think would be the ideal situation that will function properly in your context? What is what is the opinion of the council?
Chair, are you asking for the opinion of the council or my opinion?
You are speaking as a council. You are reading. By the way, we've got the immunity. You have got the immunity, so you can share what you think would be the aspiration. What would work very well, given the scenario.
Thank you, Chair. I think in the spirit of unity, togetherness, we need to have a unified system where we are all under one commission.
As simple as that. Thank you so much. As we conclude, Town Council Secretary, I would want to get in a minute the experience of the doctor. Doc, what's your experience around your movement to the council? By the way, we've got immunity, so just share what do you think is working well for the good of the people of Ngawe? What do you think needs to be improved in the current setup? In a minute, sir, with immunity.
Thank you so much, Chair. Well, my comment on this matter, Chair, is that I can say so far so good. We may not have reached or actualized what it is that we would want to actualize eventually, but I can say that we are getting there slowly but surely. I can cite an example of when I have an issue, for example, I have a challenge within the department, I can easily engage the office of the council secretary, and we have those issues resolved and sorted out there and then. And as alluded to also even in the report, I can say we have seen efficiency in the way even we are being attended to concerning the nature of the department, because we deal with emergencies every now and then. So I can easily call upon the council chair, the council secretary, and then that help is coming forth.
Okay.
I submit, Chair.
Well, thank you so much, Council Secretary, with your team, for a very elaborate presentation, and we appreciate the other annexed documents. I'm sure they will also help us to understand a little bit more detail from what you have shared with us. I think at this point I'll take away the immunity which was granted to you under cap number 12. We thank you once more most sincerely, and we wish you a very good day and a safe journey as you get back. Whether it is in Ngawe or it is in Kawe, we hear you on the remote. Well, thank you so much.